Good morning. Like many of you, I feel extremely blessed to be a member of Holmdel Community UCC. So today I am happy to share a bit about my journey to find this church and what it means to me. I grew up in Wisconsin and attended Pilgrim UCC regularly with my family. Although I did not know what the word stewardship meant at the time, I certainly saw my parents being good stewards of the church. They held various positions on the church council, sang in the choir, and were involved in organizing the merger of two smaller congregations to form Pilgrim UCC. When I moved to new cities for college and graduate school, I initially took breaks from attending church. But eventually I missed worshiping with a community of faith on Sunday mornings, and so I searched for a church. While in college, I found the ecumenical service in the university chapel, where I enjoyed learning about other faith traditions. While in graduate school, I found the historic Old South Church in Boston, where I was drawn to the beautiful sanctuary, the amazing music of the choir and organist, and the inspiring sermons delivered by the Reverend James W. Crawford, who I believe is almost as tall as Pastor Bo. After finally finishing graduate school and moving to Monmouth County, I put church on hold yet again as I adjusted to my new surroundings and life as a working adult. However, it was not long before I felt the need to find a faith community again. The first time I attended a service at Holmdel Community UCC, I felt immediately at home. I was uplifted by Reverend Rusty's sermon and the choir's music. The hymns were familiar to me, and I was warmly welcomed by several members. I attended services over the next several years, but I did not rush to become a member, as I wanted to be sure. Eventually, I met Torben, and we were married by Reverend Rusty in the sanctuary, and our two sons, Espen and Honors, were born in the years after. As I began to attend church regularly with my young sons, I realized that Holmdel Community UCC embodies three great loves that are important to my faith. The first is love of neighbor. We are an open and affirming church that welcomes folks from all walks of life. When our pastor begins the Sunday service with the statement, "Wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here," it affirms my belief that we are a church that accepts and supports all people. Our church's extensive mission and outreach work is another example of love of neighbor. The second love embodied by our church is love of children. This church invests in our children and youth through an active Sunday school program, a wonderful weekly children's message provided by Amanda, and our youth group for teens. My sons' faiths have been nurtured in this church as they have learned Christian values and experienced worship through music and prayer. We are grateful that the church welcomes Espen and Honors to share their musical talents and provides opportunities for them to volunteer to serve the wider community, for example, at Calico Cat Crop Walk and Pittsburgh Project. Our church is an extended family to my sons, and we enjoy the weekly interactions with church members of all ages. The third love embodied in our church is love of creation. Our church teaches us to care deeply about our environment and all creatures who live on this earth. I am proud that our church has an active social justice committee, which encourages members to be good stewards of our planet through reuse, recycling, and environmental advocacy. In addition, the social justice committee's work on Black Lives Matter and raising awareness of racial inequality has inspired me to consider how I can work to address my own unconscious biases. Besides the three loves of neighbor, children, and creation, the love of worship and music also draws me to this church. I feel renewed each Sunday when I sit in our beautiful sanctuary and participate in worship. My family was so thankful for our church's foresight to set up the YouTube broadcast of services so we could maintain our connection to church during the pandemic. Pastor Bo's sermons are heartfelt and thought-provoking, and there is always a message to take home and apply during the week. And the music shared by Susan and the choir, as well as the hymns, often profoundly touch me and stay with me long after the service concludes, sustaining me through the coming week. I'm very thankful and proud to call Holmdel UCC my church home.